YouTube? This is the Bucket coming at you today with my Heckler Koch USP. This pistol was the pistol that replaced the P5, the P6, the P7 in German military service and became very popular here by police agencies in the United States. These were chambered in 9mm, 40 Smith & Wesson, and 45 ACP. It's a polymer-framed firearm with a steel slide, a steel barrel with polygonal rifling. It is a double-action, single-action firearm with a safety or with a decocker. And we'll talk about some of the different trigger options that you might see or versions that you may see out there. But let's first talk about the specs of this particular pistol. So again, this gun fires from a 15-round detachable box magazine. Has an overall length of 7.64 inches. The barrel length is going to be 4.25 inches. The overall width is going to be 1.26 inches. The height is going to come at 4.25 inches. And the weight with an unloaded magazine is going to be 27.2 ounces. H&K was founded by former engineers from the Mauser company that shut its doors after World War II. And actually their first pistol was the H&K Model 4, which was famous for having 4 different caliber options and changing kits. They had the 22, the 25, the 32, and the 380. And it was just basically a Mauser HSC copy with just some unique changes to it. H&K was really famous for coming up with cool and different pistol designs like the P70, the P9S, which ended up having a roller delay system, kind of like the CZ52 and like their rifles. And then the P7 was really famous for a squeeze decocker, its delay blowback system, a lot of different cool and unique features that their guns came out with. But because they were so different and because they had such high quality standards, they lost out on a lot of military and police contracts. So they decided to go with a more standard pistol design and just use that famous H&K tolerances and quality controls and came out with the USP. Again, this would be adopted as the P8 in the military for the Germans. So when you look at these, you'll see these, they'll have some different names. The V1 is going to have a safety and a decocker. The V2 is the exact same, but it's going to be on the opposite side of the pistol. The V3 pistol does not have a safety. It's just a decocker only. V4 is going to be on the other side. And the V5 is going to have no decocker on the left side, and it's going to have no decocker but a safety on the right-hand side. The USP is actually kind of unique in the fact that in the German military pistols, the safety actually goes the opposite direction. So if you wanted to decock it, you would push it up, and if you wanted to put the safety on, you would go down. Those guns haven't been imported into the country yet because they're still being used by the Germans. I like the paddle design. I find that when you're shooting, you can just use your finger to do mag changes. That's why I like my VP9SK. I think they made some of these with a standard button design for the mag release, but you'll have to do some research on that. As far as how it feels in the hand, if you pick one of these up in a shop, I'll be honest, this full-size version, I felt like there was a lot of weight out to the front. I felt it came to be a natural pointer, and that big front fiber optic sight here on the front I really did like, but it just felt like it was a little bit off in the weight. Kind of similar to the trigger. I felt that the trigger was a little gritty when I felt it in the shop. But with a lot of the H&K designs, when I took it to the range, all that stuff went away. I felt like the weight, the balance of the pistol was amazing. I felt that it helped me keep my gun on, kept it level. It helped me with my follow-up shots, and the double-action trigger was one of the better double-action triggers as far as the bullets actually going where you want them to go. As far as the single action trigger, it's amazing, and you can see the high quality when you look at the target. This is 5 shots at 7 yards. There's 4 within this 2-inch circle and then this 1 flyer, but that was me. That wasn't the gun, and that's a lot of accuracy. This is a 2-inch circle, and all the shots that I didn't throw ended up within a 2-inch circle. You know, the Bucket likes budget guns, budget-friendly guns. I like Taurus. I like Tissos. I like a lot of the Turkish manufacturers. But with all of those guns, I don't get the same type of accuracy as when I am firing this H&K really high-end firearm. So sometimes, you know, you could get a deal, you can get a budget-friendly option, and there's not going to be a problem with it. But sometimes high quality shows in what it actually is capable of. So I really like this firearm. I can see why when you go to the forums, when you look online, a lot of people really talk about the compact versions. The compact is going to have the same grip, but it's going to have a shorter slide, and I kind of understand why. This is a big firearm to carry, conceal for long periods of time. It could definitely be done, and with that kind of accuracy, I understand why you might want to. Let's talk a little bit about disassembling this firearm for cleaning and maintenance. Again, you'll want to make sure that it is clear. And then you just pull the slide back until the slide lines up with the slide stop slide release, and then you just push up on the other end and the slide stop slide release will come right out. Now I'm going to warn you guys, I have not cleaned this gun since I've got it to the back from the range. You'll see a dual recoil spring, and this just lifts right out. It's good, it's heavy. You can understand why this is a duty firearm for sure. When you look at it, you will see that cool polygonal rifling here. This is a little dirty, but it has a nice high polish ramp here. It's just everything about this is just machined to really high tolerances, and everything just shows in everything about it. As far as reassembly, it's just the same thing in reverse. It feels a little weird sometimes when you reassemble this pistol, because when you put it in here, it goes right in, but I don't feel like I have it in there well, but it just really goes pretty easily in there. Then you just slide this back on, line that back up, and then the slide stop slide release goes right back in there. And then you're ready for your function check. And you're ready for more pew. As far as where this fits, if you look at the H&K P30, you can see that they kept a lot of the high quality that you would expect from the USP, but they changed some of the ergonomics. They give you back straps, compatibility, side straps. I like the fact that they changed where the decocker is to the back of the frame, because when you want to get to the slide stop slide release, this safety can kind of get in the way. So you kind of have to change your grip. So I understand why they made the upgrades or the updates to the P30. If you really like a good ergonomic pistol, this grip may not be your favorite grip in the world. Also, the fact that you have this proprietary rail system that then you can end up buying something like this GGG rail adapter. Those are some things that you're not going to have with the P30. So I can understand why a lot of people might want to go with the P30 opposed to this one. But that being said, I understand why there really is a cult following of people with this pistol. I just took it to the range and I just ran it. This had no failures whatsoever, and it is a cool duty firearm. So if you're thinking about picking up a cool duty firearm, do think about these. These are not inexpensive, even on the used market, because they're so sought after as far as pistols. The used ones are pretty expensive. The cheapest one I could find for this at the time of this video was $941 new. And on the used market, I never see them for less than $800. And you have to work really hard to find them for that cheap. So if you're thinking about it, I think you're thinking about a good pistol. Just be patient, and it's going to take you some time, or go ahead and fork over the money to get one new. I do want to thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. All the likes, the comments, the shares, they're really appreciated. And as always, you stay classy, YouTube.
I learned a lesson. Never half-ass two things. Whole-ass one thing.